Hey everybody, it's Matt with Man Intentional. Going live on my phone as my computer basically dumped on me right as I was going live. My internet connection just kind of took a dump, so not sure what that deal is about. But we're gonna just do it via phone. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. Um, so I got to kind of get used to doing this whole phone thing and holding it. So sorry for the shakiness. Anyway, guys, it's Matt with Man Intentional. And on this channel, we help equip men to live intentional lives by being intentional. So let's kind of dive into this. Real quick, I want to cover two things today. One, which is a question that I see a lot and a question that was asked, and I've seen it asked a number of times online. And that question has to do with work life balance, I guess, or just work family um, type of question. So we'll get into that. And then I also want to talk about mentoring. So still kind of getting over this head thing. Chest thing is what it is right now. So pardon the coughing. But we're going to talk a little bit about mentorship and being a mentor. And we're going to talk about work and life. So let's talk about that real quick. Let's dive into that. Basically, here's the question that I've got, or this is a common question that I see online and that men tend to ask. Basically, it says, I recently was let go from a very large scale construction company. Okay, so that's not the norm, but who's making outstanding money. The only problem was I had to work 6 to 7 days a week, a lot of 12 and 14-hour days. So that's kind of common these days, unfortunately. He had a son that was born, so we have family that's in this. His son, and this particular guy's question was December 15th of this past year. So his son's a few months old. He's working a lot, got let go from a job, got a job offer, pays less. In this case, it's $35,000 less a year than what he was making. But he says, hey, at my age, I'm not worried about the money. I'm not hungry for the money, are his words. But I think that's the common place. Once you hit a particular age, money's not so much the driver. It's still a driver, but it's not that catalytic driver. And he's only 33 in this, so that's kind of odd. To me, your 40s and 50s is when you start to think maybe I don't need to drive as much for money. In your mid 30s, I would think you're still driving for that. But good for him at 33 to not be worrying so much about the money. But he got a secondary job. Apparently, he has some anxiety in his question, but whatever. He got a second offer, which pays more money, but it involves travel 6 to 7 days a week and more 12 and 14-hour days. So his question is, here's his question. I think this is a common question that men have. I have a job right now that provides, this is the question, or I had a job and I've been offered another job and it provides money, maybe not as much, or maybe it's just enough. Should I take said job in this gentleman's case, or should I maintain my job and not necessarily seek after another job and spend time with my family? In this case, a newborn. And here's the thing with this, and I wish I had two hands free for this, but there's two things going on here. Basically, we as men, as fallen men from the fall of Adam and Eve, desire to chase after riches. And a lot of times that's in the form of money. So we chase after this money type thing. And in our head, we're saying, I'm providing for my family by chasing after the money. But at the same time, there's that inherentness in us as men to want to provide for our family. And sometimes we think that providing means giving them what the Joneses have. That means by providing an abundance of toys. And I see this all the time. Way more toys than your kids need, way more clothing than you or your wife need, way more toys than you or your wife needs. And there's nothing wrong with having an abundance of stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as it's within reason. And what I mean by that, sorry for the cough, is am I giving up so much to obtain these items? I do inspections, which is my main job, is doing home inspections. And I inspect homes that are 7,000, 10,000, 12,000, 20,000 square feet. Okay, well, I've done one of those. But I see an obsessive amount in these homes or these families. And a lot of times these are second homes or third homes. These aren't even their primary homes. These are vacation homes that they see a few times a year. But in most cases, when I have the opportunity to talk to people, I ask them, like, what do you do for a living? And in some cases, it's inherited money. Some cases, it's we hit it well with the stocks, but they've always driven to try and make more money. Because in one case, gentleman I talked to, they were buying a house. They were moving from Oklahoma. They had hit it well with stocks. They were coming out here buying a house, which they were paying cash for. Good for them. It was about $4 or $5 million, if I remember correctly. Good for them. But they were already stressing out about it because they needed to go make more money to be able to enjoy life in this new home that they now have to furnish and the lifestyle that they think they have to live because they got some money. So I see us as men, we look at these questions of, do I take this job that pays me more but takes away from my wife, my kids, my family, my girlfriend, anybody in that case, just friends in general, life in general, activities in general. I take this job for the money. Now, if you're younger and you're trying to strive to get something or you're putting this money towards something, you got to make that choice and that decision. That might be different. That's something you need to sit down if you're married and talk with your spouse. And maybe it's, hey, we put out, we work in the dirt, we work in the grind for 5 years to achieve success so that we can afford this and not have to work as much. Maybe you continue to work as much because that's something you guys enjoy. But I've seen a lot of cases like with this gentleman, he's saying, I don't need to work as much. And he's reaching out to other men. Do I take the job that pays or do I spend time with my family? And in my head, I just want to scream, kidding me. You take the job with your family in mind and you spend more time with your family. And if you're 33, you can always go back to another job, maybe that takes away a little bit from you as far as your family goes to make a little extra money if the family needs it. And see, that's the thing. And sometimes it's really nice when you get caught up having a certain amount of money, it's hard to give up some of that for family. But ultimately, if you're taking care of your family emotionally and physically, you're doing a good job. And it doesn't really mean that you have to have that job that pays gazillions of dollars. But you have to have that conversation with your spouse. Is it worth it for you to give up time with your newborn son to chase after some money for a while for a reason? If you're just doing it just to get the money because that makes you feel like a man, you're not a man. You're picking the wrong intentional decision there. This is an opportunity as a man to make an intentional decision that's going to benefit your family far more from you being there than trying to provide for your family by adding more money that's just going to add stuff. So there you go with that one. So let's talk a little bit about mentoring. So mentoring is kind of a big thing for me. I think that men need mentors, and there's different ways you can find a mentor. You can have a physical mentor, someone that you meet with on the regular, which I highly recommend. For me personally, I never really found that great mentor when I was younger. I feel like I've got some mentorship in my life now, but I still at this point don't have that regular, consistent someone I meet with that's like a superstar that says, hey, what are you doing? What are you working on? And they don't want anything from me. They're not looking for money from me or something from me or for me to be a part of something for them. They just want to mentor someone. And that's what I think about in mentoring. You're not looking to gain anything. You're looking to give to someone or help someone get ahead in life because you're giving them what you've known, what you've learned and what you know so that they can make intentional decisions that help them grow and be intentional in life. That's mentorship. And you can be just a little bit older than somebody that you may have just gone through a particular patch in life that they haven't yet. And so you can help them with that. And it doesn't always mean forcing someone to do something in a specific way. It means just saying, hey, here's my point of view. And there's also that that question that you ask people, what are they working on? What are they doing? What are they, what are their habits? What are they doing to make themselves better? Each week, are they striving to get better, or are they being passive and just sitting still and actually getting behind, because you're either moving forward or moving behind. There's never a flat line situation. So that's mentorship. Can you find someone that you could help and mentor? Maybe you're someone that's in your mid to late 20s and there's a younger 20 something that you might be able to mentor. Maybe you're married and there's a young couple that's getting married and maybe you can mentor them. Maybe you're in your 30s or 40s and you can find someone a little bit younger that you can mentor, somebody that's going through a situation that you've been through and you can help mentor them. Maybe it's that I just had a friend found out today that they just adopted a nice young little boy, which very stoked for them. So James Stevenson, total shout out to you and your new family member and your family. That's awesome. But I would bet if you didn't have a mentor going through that, if there was someone there for your wife and for you to help mentor through that process, because it's a process. I've had some other friends that have gone through it. We've seen what the process is like. That probably would have been extremely helpful. So mentoring is finding someone that is behind you in a certain position. Maybe it's in life, maybe it's just in a particular ordeal, and you're able to help them walk through that. Give them some advice. Understand that they're going to make bad decisions occasionally. And that doesn't mean you dump on them for doing that. It means you come alongside them and you help them up. That's being a mentor. That's helping someone get through a particular situation. And that's what mentoring is. So other ways to mentor other than physical is, there's tons of stuff online where you can get mentorship. If you're a small business owner and you're looking to grow your business or understand social media, or maybe it's YouTube or something like that, there are plenty of people out there that can help mentor you through your small business. A couple that come to mind, check out Owen Video. If you're a small business and you're looking to grow it, look up Owen Video. He's really great at that. If you're getting into YouTube, want to be in YouTube, look up Think Media, Sean Cannell, really great guys, Sean and Benji, who run a program on YouTube that basically talks about how to do YouTube. They're actually mentors for me. I really like their content, and so I ingest their content, and that's kind of a mentorship for me. They're younger than me, but that doesn't mean I can't learn from them. That's mentorship. And honestly, one of the better mentors that you can find ever is going to be right out of the Bible, and that's Jesus or Paul or someone there that you can find in the Bible that's gone through stuff and that can help mentor you. If you're a Christian man and you're looking for mentorship in that regard, that's a great way to do it. So there are plenty of things that you can find online in that regard. It's not a physical mentor. It's watching videos or reading a book or maybe listening to a book while you drive, but you can certainly get some mentorship with that. So there you guys go. I got started a little late today and I don't want to drag this on. I just want to be able to give you guys some nuggets. This is a question that I see consistently online is, what do I do? Money or family? My choice always is family, but sometimes choosing family means working. Sometimes that means you've got to give a little bit on the side, give a little of yourself from the working standpoint to provide for family, but that's providing safety, security, food, home, someplace to live. That's what that provision is like. It's not a matter of, hey, we need money because we need all the toys. Now, maybe you have a toy you're looking for. Maybe you want a motorhome so you guys can go camp as a family, and you're like, hey, for the next 6 months, I'm going to put in a little extra so we can buy the motorhome and then we can go camping. That's a choice and a decision you make with your family. If you're single and you want to give up some time with your friends to achieve something, more power to you. If you're in your early 20s, late teens, mid 20s, and you're like, hey, I want to achieve something down the road, so I've got to give up my time with friends and maybe some family time with like hanging out with family events. I'm not saying your children, but just other things like maybe this weekend you can't go hang with your parents because you're going to work so that you can achieve something totally different. Go for it. Work it. Curious about knowing someone who did that? and is extremely successful. Check out Gary V or Gary Vaynerchuk. See him on YouTube, Facebook. He's on pretty much every. I think he's on Snapchat still. He's like everywhere. But so there's that, and then mentorship, guys. Try and be a mentor for someone and look for a mentor. You know, it kind of goes both ways. You got to swing the door both ways there, and you got to help out where you can, and you need help. Every man needs it. We can't do this alone. That's why I started this little channel here, is to provide some help, be a digital mentor to those that need it. And if you guys have questions, let me know in the comments down below. If you've got personalized questions, DM me. I'll be happy to talk to you guys about that stuff. So anyway, I'm Matt. This is Man Intentional, where we help men make intentional decisions to live intentional lives. We're here for you every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then check us out on Facebook at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Fridays, where we go through a real quick, just kick off to the weekend. We'll answer a question or two, hit a real quick topic, try and keep that 5-6 minutes, and then head into the weekend and have an intentional weekend and intentional life. All right, guys, have an intentional rest of the week. Make intentional decisions. Love on those families, and I will see you guys next week and on social media. Don't forget to check out Instagram, Man Intentional, and join the 20 push-up a day challenge. We're doing 20 push-ups every morning, getting the morning started by doing that. So see you guys. I guess I'm still live. Didn't realize that. Let me unlive us.